Hello, Community of Excellence.
Hello.
Happy Mindset Monday. My name is Nick, and this is Gretchen Carlson.
Hello there. Nick, it's Friday.
You're right, it is Friday. So you're getting a double feature this week because
Lucky you.
After the video on Monday, we got some questions, just asking questions about what growth and fixed mindset are a little bit more, and kind of like what's the big deal and how is this important. So I thought it'd be great to bring on my colleague to have a fun, kind of informal interview. You ready?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Great. So help the community and me kind of understand the big differences between the growth and the fixed mindset.
Fixed mindset, when we're talking about the fixed mindset, it encompasses a worldview that's very deterministic, right? So while the growth mindset really allows for change and evolution and options and possibilities. So the fixed mindset can really place us in a very small box.
Okay.
While the growth mindset really mirrors life and all of the unexpected things that come to us in life.
Sure. Deterministic. So expand on that a little bit. I like the visual of living kind of in a small box.
Yeah.
But could you expand on that a little bit?
Sure. So with the fixed mindset, the belief is that all of my capabilities, all of my strengths, all of my talents, I've come into the world with a certain amount of that, and that will not change. Okay? So it sort of begs the question, why try anything new? Because if everything's already set, then there's really not a point in putting effort into things or taking on obstacles or even receiving any sort of feedback.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so the growth mindset, open world, endless possibilities?
With the growth mindset, the point isn't necessarily the outcome. The point is all that you learn along the way on the journey, right? So so one of the things that we talk about when we talk about the growth mindset is a really different conception of failure. Some people see, if you're in a fixed mindset, you see that either you're a failure or you're a success. Whereas if you take on the growth mindset, what you do is you look at it from the standpoint of, okay, if I didn't accomplish something this time, what can I learn from that? That makes my next attempt at it more skillful or more educated or, a better effort than my first.
That's really interesting because I tend to focus a lot on outcomes. I set out on a goal, did I succeed in that?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm sure a lot of the community can relate to that as well. Well, I thought we could spend some time talking about why is this important for me? Why is this important for the community?
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal about mindset anyways?
Well, yeah, right? I mean, that is the big question, isn't it? What's the big deal about it? And my sense is that it's important to focus on your mindset because a person's mindset colors the way that they approach life, right? And so how you approach life and how you experience it. So how do you want to experience life, And they say that perception is reality. So if your perception or if your belief is that you will never accomplish X or Y or Z, or that you don't have it in you to be X or Y or Z, then you're not ever going to even attempt to be X or Y or Z.
Yep, that makes sense.
And so it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And it stops you in your tracks from even trying. And so you limit the world around you, right? Whereas if you take on the growth mindset and believe that life is set up for you to learn from it, then that opens up a whole world of possibilities and options, and it makes your efforts worthwhile, and it makes the things that happen to you in your life meaningful. It gives them meaning and it gives them a purpose.
Yeah.
So
now I can think of examples in my own life. One is working on cars. I typically, my mind doesn't work that way. I like working with people.
Mm-hmm.
So my car broke down or my brakes went out or something like that, and I was so anxious. I had to get over that hump or even to engage this. Like I thought I opened up the hood and I just got overwhelmed.
yeah.
And when I thought, this is no dark mystery, that other people can do this, so can I. So I got myself a manual and just broke it way down into a pretty easy job, and I got those brakes fixed, and yeah, I kind of was, clunked along the way and broke a bolt here, and it was kind of frustrating. I got really down on myself. But then I realized, like, after, I tested them out for the first time, there's a sense of accomplishment. I learned something. I felt empowered. I wanted to help change other people's brakes. I wanted to teach other people how to change their brakes. And
I should have talked to you a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
When my brakes were going. Anyway.
But I just could really relate to that idea of, oh gosh, I'm not good at this. It didn't even come into my head that it's something I could try. I mean, that's just something other people, that professionals did. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've had experiences in my own life too. And what I think is important to recognize is that it's, you faced a stumbling block, right? I mean, you faced a challenge or a barrier in getting your brakes done. And I think that that's the way that you approached that was very growth mindset. I'm sure, again, that a lot of our community can relate to that. And really, we want to hear from you guys too. What ways have you realized that you've been living in the fixed mindset? What ways have you been living in the growth mindset? We are in a constant journey of learning. That's why we have this right behind us. So, to be a part of a community where we're sharing this with each other, I think is really powerful. In fact, I can think of a way that Gretchen has been working with me on a certain aspect of the fixed mindset. Do you know what it is? The certain thing?
Tell me.
Perfectionism.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's a big one in the fixed mindset. Perfectionism.
Perfectionism for me can manifest in ways that are completely invisible, and even creating these videos or writing a paper for one of my classes. Gretchen has said, is this the perfectionist coming out? And I'll be like, it is. It is. Yep. And it's good to be aware of that.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. That's a phrase that I've heard used often. And if it stops you in your tracks, then you're never, perfect is unattainable. I mean, it just is unattainable. And so I think as soon as we get comfortable with that idea and recognize that the best that we can do is the best that we can do, and keep moving the dial on what our personal best is, and seeing the potential there, I think we are in a lot better position to really express what our best is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Look forward to next week where we do the next Mindset Monday.
On an actual Monday?
On an actual Monday.
Fantastic.
And we really encourage you to post in the comment section below and in the community conversation section entitled Mindset Monday in the Community of Excellence space on iGuide.
All right.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much.